Hey everyone, my name is Alice and this is my bookshelf tour. The reason that I'm filming this tour is basically not because it is perfect right now, but because at some point I want to buy bookcases and display my books better. And before I do so, I want to have this recorded, so I have somewhere, a place where I put my old way of organizing my books. So, and I also very much like this setting. It's just not the most convenient one because it's one stack of books on the side here. First of all, it doesn't fit anymore. I will show you a little more books later on. But right now, if I take one out, the rest falls down, and I do have some book stands and stuff, or bookends. But that's not enough. But in this video I will show you all the books, how I organized it and what it looks like right now. So you have an idea of my current state of books. So this first part of my books is my murder mystery genre book collection, which actually mainly is Agatha Christie. It's basically my Agatha Christie collection. I have an old vintage well, it's not really vintage. It's an old Dutch edition. It's a pocket edition, editions from the 1980s, I believe. These are very easy to get when you collect them in thrift stores here in the Netherlands. So that's the reason why everything here is Dutch. I do have some English copies, 3 of them. I wrote my thesis, BA thesis on Agatha Christie, which I did in English, which is why I have them in English. It makes life a bit easier. Then I have these 3 Dutch editions, also older ones. Also Dutch ones. I see here I have an old copy of George Orwell's Animal Farm, but I also have a very old copy of Agatha Christie's Sparkling Cyanide, as you can see. Very cute edition. The Agatha Christie collection is the start of my murder mystery detective genre. I do have here the Maltese Falcon, which I would say is still part of the Agatha Christie because it's the same time period, the 1930s I believe this is from. I have my Volkswagen bus. Yeah, for those that do not know me, which is most of you I guess, I have a Volkswagen T3. It's not this one, but this is the, well, let me check if I believe this is the first one. You have the second one, which looks similar to this one, and then the third one, which is also from the 80s. And I have a Volkswagen bus, which is why I also have this thing here. And then I have my mystery or more detective kind of book. So this is Detective from Joe Nesbo. Read this one. This is the following part of this book. I loved this snowman. Haven't read this one. It's huge, and it's also in Dutch because I found it thrifted. So then I also have Stephen King. I don't really like Stephen King. It's kind of hit or miss. I loved Mr. Mercedes, but I also read what was it again? Oh yeah, Misery, which was a misery for me to read, to be very honest. I hated that book. Love this book. Haven't read this one. It's the following copy. Lethal White. To be very honest, I don't remember much about it, but I read it and I kind of liked it. A Dutch version of this book, which I believe is the 3rd book of a series as well, but I didn't know that when I read it, so the ending was not so impactful for me. John Grisham, did not like this book. This one, Into the Waters, liked it. This one I loved, I remember. Silent Patient I loved. And The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo I haven't read yet. And Gone Girl I did read and I loved it. Many of you I think do. After mystery and psychological thriller and stuff, this is the start of the Contemporary Shelf from A Little Life. Yeah, have read A Little Life. It's devastating. Then we have Girl, Woman, Other. It was okay to me. This is a Spanish book that I was planning on reading when I learned Spanish, which I kind of did, but also it's not good enough for me to read it. And I also heard terrible reviews about this book. It just has sentimental value because I bought it when I lived in Valencia. We have Beautiful Ruins, a Dutch copy, which I found thrifted. De Avond in Ongemak, a Dutch copy because it's a Dutch novel. Testaments. One of my favorite authors is Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I have Daisy Jones and the Six, Malibu Rising, and Evelyn Hugo, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which was my first book I read by her. Another favorite is Sally Rooney, which I'm currently reading the third book she just published. So yeah, I really like her kind of writing style as well. We have The Handmaid's Tale. This is a thrifted copy of Lovely Bones, which I have not read yet. And as you can see, I don't have enough space. So these two books are kind of, yeah, less important, I would say. I've read Fallen. This it got gifted to me, which it's been a while, but I haven't read it because it's not really my kind of books, if that makes sense. What is historical fiction. So I have Between Shades of Grey and Sarah's Key, which are both phenomenal, so would definitely recommend. So then we have my humble collection of graphic novels between these lovely plants. I have, as you can see, a lot of plants, and they all cover my books in some shape or form. Look, I really like this aesthetic, but it's not really convenient sometimes. So we have my collection of, let me try and find a way to show it here, of graphic novels. I have Persepolis, which is the first graphic novel I ever owned, and I really loved it. And then we have also Embroideries, which is also by the same authors. Here you can see it better. I have Pumpkin Heads. Also loved it, and I really loved The Merchant of Constantinia, which is this huge book. You see leaves falling down, I'm sorry. But this huge book I found very pretty and very nice. And there is a second version or a second volume of it that I would like to get in the future. But it's huge and it just fits in my bookshelf, as you can see. So I have only 4 graphic novels. But I really like the genre still. Yeah, so from here on it gets a little bit messy. The idea was that it started with non-fiction and then it moves into classics, which it kind of still does, but not completely, because I have taken books out and wasn't able to put them back into the shelf because it's full, as you can see. So we have some non-fiction, but as you can see I have Oscar Wilde on top of it, which is obviously not non-fiction. I loved it, by the way. It's The Picture of Dorian Gray. I also love this copy, it's beautiful. Then we go into classics. The classics that I have read is, for example, Pride and Prejudice. I still would love to read Emma, which I still haven't done. On top of here are books that I would not consider classics, just contemporary, or I don't even know. I got these top 2 gifted to me and I don't quite know what they are about. I have some poetry as well, Dutch classics. So the end of my shelf is less interesting, I would say. It's mainly university books still, and then my collection of Bibles in Dutch, in English, all types of translations. And these university books, yeah, I guess all university students have a small section of this. Don't know what I want to do with it, but for now it's just here. And at the very end I have a small stack of photo albums, notebooks, and some short books with short stories and stuff, but I just put them behind this plant, as you can see. So on this shelf, this is another shelf on top of my desk area. I have a stack of books that, first of all, they don't fit anymore. Second of all, these are mostly unread books that I'm either currently reading or I want to read. So it's basically a TBR shelf. This is a get well card. I'm currently sick. Maybe you can hear it, but I have long COVID, so breathing sometimes is a bit difficult. And now I take a breath because I can't do it anymore. The books that I'm reading is 100 Years of Solitude, Sally Rooney, Beautiful World, Where Are You? A collection of Emily Dickinson. It's a poetry collection. Lately I've been more into poetry, which is why I also have Dearly by Margaret Atwood. This Brené Brown book, I don't quite know the English translation, but this is the Dutch translation. We have The Kiss Quotient, The Night Runner. Now some books you might recognize. And here on the side, if you're wondering, this is my junk journal. Lately I've been really into junk journaling. I love it. It's a way to put my creativity out there somewhere on the paper. And it's really thick by now because I've put so much in. If you're curious of what it looks like inside, I put a TikTok account in my description. I'm making TikTok videos about it. I mean, what can you do? So yeah, this is my junk journal and these are my to be read books. And I do have an e-reader. Right now I'm reading a lot on my e-reader as well. So yeah, there are some books in there as well that I haven't mentioned. And these are my books and my bookshelf, so I hope you like it. If you have any questions on certain books, let me know. But for now, this is it. Thank you for watching.